Hello and welcome to a Knit and Crochet podcast. I say knit and crochet because these used to be just knit podcasts, but I am now obsessed with crochet, so they are both. Since I have seen you last in my crochet dreams video, I have learned a new technique so that I can crochet for longer, and that is moderation. I set a timer and I crochet for 20 minutes. When that timer goes off, I stop and set a new timer for 30 minutes so that my wrist has time to rest, and then I can crochet so much more. It's like magic. It's great. So I have finished a lot of projects, started a lot of projects, and so let's get into it. The first project I finished was this sweater, which has a whole lot of not woven in ends because I suck at weaving in ends in crochet, especially loose crochet projects like this one. I used a huge hook for this. It was like 10 millimeters or something. This is the Homeward Bound cardigan by Daisy and Dime, and I didn't really do any modifications, and I love the rib on the sleeve. I added a bit more rib to the center front here. I used a ball of yarn that I got at the thrift store for $10. It was a ginormous ball and I used it all on this sweater. It's a hexie cardigan, so it's worked like in the round for each side until you get to a certain length, and then you add length to the bottom, to the sleeve, and to the center back. It is using the linen stitch, which I really like, and this yarn was very stiff, but I washed it in the washing machine and then laid it out flat to dry, and it's so soft now. This is really nice for just wearing around the house, especially now that it's in the colder months. I love Daisy and Dime's patterns because they're so easy and they're so fast and they look good. So yeah. This is the first thing I finished. The next thing I finished is something I've been talking about in so many videos, and that is the log cushions. I made all 3 of the white ones that I wanted to make. You've already seen the oak cushion, and now I have 3 of these birch ones, and I think they turned out really nice. You can see I just used up all my different colors of white that were gifted to me. Surface crochet to make it look like birch, and then the ends have different colors to make it look like rings and wood. I have 4 of these now, 1 oak and then these 3 birch. This is made using the free pattern, which I will link below, by Yarnspirations. The next thing I finished was a balaclava for my husband. I made this using a tutorial by Well Loved Knits. It's really nice because it's not stitch counts or anything. It's kind of like vibes. It feels like crochet where you can just kind of wing it and add a row here and there. It feels like that, but it's with knit. You start by making a rectangle on the top, and then you pick up around the sides of the rectangle and work your way down. You join under the chin and you work in the round, adding ribbing there. And then once you're done, you come back and you join around the face hole and you do more ribbing. Balaclavas are nice because you can just wear it like a hood. This is for my husband. After I tried it on, I got jealous and I started a new project, which is this one. I got this boucle when my coworker gave me a whole lot of yarn. I've just picked up in the round to make my own balaclava to make a balaclava for myself. And it's going to be this nice greeny blue color, which will be really nice for a balaclava. I like the ability to make it to wear it like a hood. I think that's very nice because then when you're going shopping, you can wear this. When you're inside, you just pull it down and then you pull it back up when you go back outside. I know I say this a lot, but I live in Alberta and it gets to -40 in the winter here. So it's nice to have layers that are practical. And that's what this will be for me. When I saw that I had this yarn, I tried crocheting at first. I was like, I should crochet a balaclava using this nice boucle yarn. But then I tried to crochet this, and I hate crocheting boucle yarn, it turns out. You can't see the stitches, so knitting it is. Next thing, oh, I'm going in the wrong order then. Anyway, I will continue now with my finished objects. The next thing I finished was this rug, which I made for my front room. If you saw my front room makeover, then you will know that I carefully cut up all my scraps and sewed them into a really long strip, which then I sewed into a tube, which then I wove into a rug. And then my cat peed on it. I washed it and it got destroyed. So I needed a new rug for my front door. And I had this yarn, which feels not nice on the skin. I used a hack to make it 3 strands and then used my biggest hook again, the same hook I used for this, and just did a linen stitch rectangle. And it works really well as a rug, and it's nice and thick so it's soft under your feet. But it definitely needs an under rug, like a non-slip pad underneath. The rug almost killed my husband a few times because I forgot to put one underneath. So, life hack, put non-slip things under your rugs and then you won't die. The next thing I finished, you haven't even seen yet because I just got so excited about it that I just did it. There's actually 2 things here. I knit a little rabbit because it's so cute. And then I made it a tiny little sweater and it's a turtleneck. I want to make a rabbit, one that signifies my husband and one that signifies me. And then in my living room have a little shelf that they sit on, and they have different outfits for the different seasons, and that's how we'll decorate. So like Mark wants his to be Santa for Christmas, but I just finished his and then I got excited about a different project. So he still needs pants and then I still have to finish mine. But this is a new project. I used all thrifted yarn for this. You're supposed to use twist ties, but I couldn't find any and I didn't have any in my house. So I just went to the dollar store and got this flexible tie. I liked that it had this like plastic stuff over it so that hopefully the wire wouldn't poke out at you when you're like shaping the rabbit, because I can shape it so that his body does different things because that wire is in there. Yeah, all this yarn is thrifted. I did have to buy the eyes, worth it, because like look how cute that guy is. Look how cute he is. So this one's my husband's, and that's my last finished object as well. So we will get into works in progress, which for me is my rabbit. Well, the rabbit that signifies me. For this one, this is also thrifted yarn. It is fingering wool. It's meant for socks, but I'm using it for this rabbit. This is the green I used for Mark's sweater, and then I was planning on using this brown for his pants. And I want to get a blue similar to this to make a little dress for my rabbit, and that will be their regular clothes. These are the eyes I got. They're from the Crazy Eye Lady, I believe, Etsy shop. I will link that down below, as well as this pattern, which is by Dots and Pebble Crochets or Knits. I'll link that below. And that I had to buy 2 separate patterns. There's the rabbit, which comes with a sweater for trousers and a dress, but not for, which comes with a pattern for trousers and a dress, but not for the sweater, so I bought the sweater separate. And the sweater is actually made for the frog pattern that they have, but I just made it for my rabbit. So this is the rabbit's head. This one is the one that signifies me. So I have to stick in the eyes and then stuff it and add the wire to the ears, and then sew the head to the body, which I've already knit, and then stuff the body and put the wire in so that again it's bendable, and then finish the legs and the arms. So this one still has quite a lot of progress that needs to be done, but because everything's so little, it works up so fast and it's so satisfying because it's so cute. This is my first work in progress. Oh yeah, I already talked about the balaclava. So that's my second work in progress. My third work in progress, I started 2 weeks ago, and I talked about it in my last in my Crochet Dreams video. I am making the foxglove wrap sweater by Daisy and Dime. I'm using this thrifted yarn I got. It was a sweater, and it was one of those like mandala sweaters where it goes down to your knees and there's lace work. And I took it all apart, and it's this soft brown yarn that, like, it's weird because it isn't like twisted or anything. I don't know what this yarn is called, but it's really pleasant to work with. And I will show you my progress because it's working up really fast. Even just crocheting for 20 minutes at a time, I'm making a lot of progress. So I've just gotten to the underbust part. It's just long enough to go around me. I'm wearing this damsel top, which I just finished, and it's adding probably like 2 inches of width around, so it doesn't, this looks like it doesn't fit properly, but it does, I swear, okay? Oh, you can't even see. Okay, so I've just gotten to the point where it wraps around me. Now I'm on the step where you're supposed to add a hole for the tie because it's a wrap top. And what I'm going to do is, instead of making the ties as long as she suggests in the pattern, because a lot of the reviews were that the straps are too long, the straps using her method are too long, I'm going to copy the straps on the wrap dress that I just made, and that I really like the length of those straps, and then you just like wrap it around once the back, once the front, and tie it twice, and it's really easy. So that's what I'm going to do for my ties. I think I'll be able to finish this by the end of the month because I'm going on a couple trips and this will be the only project I'm taking with me, so I think I'll be able to do it. And I'm going to take the rabbit too. The only thing is, I'm a little concerned that it's quite low, and I don't like wearing shirts that are like low. I can wear like a tank top underneath it or whatever. I'm just worried that that'll make it not look as good. I can always add more rows to the neckline to make it a little higher, because you can do that with crochet. And if that already seems like a lot of projects to be working on at once, you'd be right. But I have 2 more. This one I literally just started 2 days ago. I want to make a granny square vest. I'll show you a picture here. It is following a tutorial that is free online. And so this is the only granny square I've made so far, but I think I have to take out this last row, because what makes that granny square vest look so good is that the last row on all the squares is the same color. And I want to do the last row in the same greenish brown yarn that I'm using for the foxglove wrap, because I'm pretty sure I'll have enough to finish this vest with that as well. I chose all my fabric, all my yarns that are the same weight, and put them all in here. And these are all just scraps, obviously. So I need to make 25 granny squares out of all of this. So hopefully I have enough yarn to do that. I'll use that green-brown yarn to finish it. What's nice about this granny square vest is that the ends and the hem are finished by knitting, which I think looks much nicer than crochet ribbing. I think it's easier too. That's my last work in progress. I feel like this video has been a little hectic, so hopefully everything made sense to you and you understand everything that I was saying and you could see everything that I was showing you. I continue to plan to make the Jasper sweater by Daisy and Dime using one of my yarns that I already have in my stash, but I'm not sure what yarn I want to do yet, because the other project that I'm working on is it's by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It's a lacy cardigan, and I'm not sure that I want to finish that cardigan. It's hard to remember what it's called because all her patterns are named cardigan and then a number, so I think it's cardigan number 6, but I could be wrong about that. I've been working on that sweater for over a year, and I say I've been working on it for over a year, but what I mean is I started it over a year ago, got halfway done, had to rip it all out, and then start again, and I think I'm about the same far as I am on the foxglove wrap on that sweater. but I haven't gotten back to it, and I'm not sure if I want to go back to it or if I want to use that yarn instead to make the Jasper sweater. So I'll either use that yarn to make the Jasper sweater, or I'll use a different yarn to make the Jasper sweater, but I did just buy a Tunisian crochet pattern by Just the Worsted. Here's a photo here, and I want to make that as well. There's just so many things that I want to make. I can make all these with the yarn that I already have in the house, so I don't have to buy anything. I also want to make a fitted vest that looks like kind of like a suit vest. I can't find a pattern for what I want, so I'm considering trying to make my own pattern and working it sideways and doing like a rib stitch with crochet, like a slip rib crochet to make it fit me. But I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do that, because probably something else will come up that I find more exciting. That is my finished objects, my works in progress, my crochet, my dreams, and I don't have any acquisitions because I have enough yarn. I'd have to use what I already have. Another thing I was thinking of making is making slippers with like a thick sole, because I have some thick yarns that my coworker gave me that I think would work perfectly for making a thick crochet sole for slippers. So that's on my radar as well. I can't find a pattern that I like for that, so again, I might just have to wing it, but I'm not sure if I'm confident enough in my crochet skills to be able to wing things yet. It's weird, in my youth, I winged things all the time. I never used patterns for sewing, for crochet. I did use patterns for knitting, but they were just simple patterns like rectangles. And now that I'm an adult, I struggle to wing things because I just want things to turn out, you know? Maybe I'm just a little afraid of failing, and I should really work on that. So maybe a goal for myself would be to wing some crochet projects so that I can see that making mistakes isn't as bad as you think it is. Anyway, that's enough philosophy for today. I will see you next time. Bye!